Conor McGregor is the most successful MMA fighter of all time. But what if I told you most people have no idea of the type of characters he associates with? Jonathan and Andrew Murray, nicknamed Gangster Brothers. They have 66 criminal convictions between them both. Jonathan Murray was arrested for a 2012 attack on a man that was described in court as sickening. His brother Andrew Murray has been charged with everything from possession of drugs with intent to sell, theft, assault, and we're only touching the surface. The Gangster Brothers are childhood friends of Conor McGregor and have been seen with Conor throughout his career. So you're probably thinking, so what if Conor has some childhood friends who can't stay out of trouble? Because that's exactly what I thought, until I started doing some more research. I discovered something pretty interesting. In 2018, when Conor McGregor infamously threw a dolly at a UFC bus, this picture was taken hours before the incident. Both Andrew and Jonathan Murray. After Conor McGregor was arrested and released on bond for throwing the dolly, only 2 weeks later, Andrew and Jonathan Murray were targeted in a series of raids across North Dublin. The Drug and Organised Crime Bureau, Ireland's version of the DEA, were looking for an international drug smuggling operation. During the raid, 6 people were arrested, drugs and $300,000 was also seized. The leader of the group was suspected to be a close associate of Andrew and Jonathan Murray. The drugs used in the scheme were supplied by the Kinahan cartel, one of the 2 major criminal organizations in Ireland. But how was Conor McGregor connected to all of this? Yes, he's friends with Andrew and Jonathan, but a drug smuggling operation ran by the Kinahan cartel? I'm sure Conor doesn't have any relationships with anyone that's in Ireland's biggest drug organization. But to my surprise, Conor has publicly interacted and is rumored to be friends with several members of the Kinahan cartel. But before we move on, we need to know more about the Kinahan cartel. Daniel Kinahan is believed to run the day-to-day operations. Daniel also started a boxing gym with a former professional boxer, Matthew Macklin, called Macklin's Gym Marbella, but then they later renamed it to MTK. Over the years, the gym has turned more into a promotion and management company, and they've been associated with some pretty high-level fighters like Tyson Fury, Darren Till, and Michael Conlan, who Conor McGregor walked to the ring for his pro boxing debut. On February 2018, MTK announced they would be boycotting all Irish media. This was in response to persistent questioning from the press regarding MTK's connection to Daniel Kinahan. So now that we know more about Daniel Kinahan, we have to talk about the other major Irish cartel called the Hutch Gang. It's led by Gerry Hutch, who is a very well-known public figure in Ireland. He is accused of carrying out 2 of the biggest robberies in Irish history. He also runs a limousine service called Carry Anybody. He catered to several celebrities, including Mike Tyson. Gerry also absolutely hates the Kinahans, and here's why. The Kinahan cartel and the Hutch Gang were once on good terms, and they even worked alongside each other. In fact, Gerry's nephew, Gary Hutch, was at one point known to be Daniel Kinahan's closest associate, and ironically enough, this was the very thing that would lead to an all-out war. Around 2014, several Kinahan drug shipments got intercepted and seized by authorities. But this was rare for the gang, and they quickly assumed someone within their circle was leaking information.